Hi everybody, my name is Joe. I'm a doctoral student studying clinical psychology, and this is Psych Made Simple. Now today we're going to continue our series on acceptance and commitment therapy, also called ACT. And today we're going to start moving onto more of the right side of this figure that is more related to changing the things that you can change or committing to changes, rather than we started with 2 videos explaining thought diffusion and acceptance that are more related to, of course, that acceptance of what cannot be changed. Now, it's important when you're thinking about this side of the table to start by thinking about what your values are, because ultimately then you're going to eventually commit to actions that relate to those values that you've chosen. And I think it's helpful to kind of define what a value is at first. Now, a lot of times values are called higher order, like higher level goals. A lot of times they're more abstract than goals. So a lot of times goals are very concrete. They're things that you can, take specific actions to achieve. Whereas a value is something that's a little more abstract, but there's a lot of actions along the way or smaller goals that can help you get closer to that value. And a lot of times it's hard to define if you could ever really meet a value or what that would look like, but it's something that you strive for and something that there's a lot of goals you can do to work towards. So an example would be if you really value your health, then there's multiple. It's hard to kind of define exactly where the line is between being healthy, unhealthy, or things like that, but there are a lot of goals you can do to try to live a healthier lifestyle. So some examples would be like eating 2 servings of vegetables a day, or exercising 3 times a week, or limiting yourself to only 1 dessert rather than eating dessert every single day. Those are kind of things, those are specific goals or specific actions that you can take to achieve that goal or work toward that higher level goal or value of health. Now, in acceptance and commitment therapy, or also just in your life, there's a few different ways where you can kind of go about choosing what those values are, or kind of thinking about what your values are. So one path to take is looking more at like the domain level. So that would be thinking about different areas of your life, like in your marriage. So if you're married, then you might think like, what kind of spouse do you want to be? If you have kids, you could think, what kind of parent do you want to be? And then similarly over here, like if you're a working person, then you could think like, okay, what kind of work do you want to do? Do you want to have a different type of job? Or what kind of employee do you want to be? What kind of characteristics do you want to live out? And another way to kind of select your values sometimes is through things you can do. Find these online, these like values card sorts, where you'll cut. If, in this example, you would kind of cut along these lines and make different piles of not important to me, very important to me, and then you can sort out these different values such as like acceptance, achievement, adventure into those different piles, and maybe decide, adventure is a value that's very important to me. And then once you've chosen the top few values, you try to come up with some actions like we did for health that live out those values or help you get closer to those values. And of course, going back to this figure, that's why chosen values and committed action are next to one another, because once you have chosen your values, then it's important to think about those goals or those actions that you can commit to that move you toward those values. And then, of course, having that psychological flexibility that comes with all of these different processes will help you commit to those actions and actually follow through on them and get closer to your values. And, a lot of times moving closer to your values, living out those values through your actions can make you a lot happier and just make you live a more fulfilling life. So thank you to everyone who watched this far. If you liked, or please leave a like or subscribe to the channel if you want more content. And as always, please feel free to leave any questions you have in the comments, or any comments you have in the comments. And also, feel free to leave any video suggestions for me in the comments, because I'd love to hear what you would like out of the channel and hopefully make some videos that align with that. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.